Well, the UK has a very clear legislation, and it's national legislation. So, in that sense, I think that the commitments and everything, every indication that we have had from the British government makes it really clear that the commitment remains that this agenda will continue to go forward. Tomorrow I'm going to be meeting Minister Hurd. So, and we have a very good and close relationship. So, I would say that, yes, no doubt the negotiations will be complex and difficult, but the fact that the UK has this legislation that clearly puts the process that it will follow in order to fulfill commitments under Paris is really very good news.
Want to keep this toothless, spineless, unenforceable global agreement that was in effect written by the fossil fuel industry. Who do you think authored the Paris Climate Agreement? It was the fossil fuel industry who fully understands why the Paris Climate Agreement is a gift from God to them. And if you don't understand this, let this planet eater let this planet eater explain it to you. The letter addressed to the International Energy Agency reassured the Trump administration that the U.S. oil and gas sector would easily remain competitive on the world stage under the agreement's implementation. As a result of our country's large reserves and, quote, innovative private industries, including the oil, gas, and petrochemical sectors. Is there anything about this letter from this planet eater to the IEA explaining why Donald Trump should not back out of the Paris Climate Agreement? And my prediction is he will not, because the fossil fuel corporations will explain to him that, you dumb fuck, if you get us out of this, you know, we might come up with an agreement that would actually do something to rein in fossil fuel emissions. Do you get it? The Paris Climate Agreement is a gift. It is rolling out the red carpet to the planet eaters while deceiving these clueless fucking moron little limp dick mainstream environmentalist greenies actually swallowing the single biggest corporate greenwashing in the history of the planet, the Paris Climate Agreement. I don't know how I can explain it any better than this planet eater from Exxon. What the Paris Climate Agreement does is allow the oil, gas, and petrochemical companies to remain competitive on the global stage. Anyway, I gotta move on. And I absolutely love this story. For anybody who does not understand this, if this last story wasn't enough to pull your head out of your ass, listen to this one from Reuters News. As Trump targets energy rules oil companies downplay their impact. President Donald Trump's White House has said Trump's plans to slash environmental regulations will trigger a new energy boom and help the United States drill its way to independence from foreign oil. But the top U.S. oil and gas companies have been telling their own shareholders that regulations, meaning present day regulations created by the Barack Obama administration, those bullshit regulations have little impact on their businesses. No shit, Sherlock, because the regulations, like the Paris Climate Agreement, were written by the fossil fuel corporations. And we're talking the Barack Obama joke regulations. Anybody, just the very concept of regulations on the fossil fuel industries, it is a laughable joke. You don't need Donald Trump. In annual reports to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's 13 of the 15 biggest U.S. oil and gas producers said that compliance with current regulations is not impacting their operations or their financial condition. No shit, Sherlock. I have been making this rant ever since I started Humpty Dumpty Tribe 6 years ago. There are no regulations on these out-of-control fuckers, even without Donald Trump in the White House. Do you folks get it by now? And the other two of the top 15 had no comment. The dissonance raises questions about whether Trump's war on regulation can even increase domestic oil and gas output from where it already is. You know, is it this story that talks about good Lord, this goes on and on and on. I wanted to find out where the latest, basically, anyway, this is a long, involved article. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Looking at the Obama. So what happened under Obama? Though the industry saw a staunch opponent in Barack Obama. Again, I don't have my bullshit detector button with me. A staunch opponent. Barack Obama was a step and fetch it, completely in the hands of the oil industry. But anyway, though the industry saw a staunch opponent in Obama, oil and gas production actually soared more than 50% during his presidency. That was mainly because of high oil prices before they collapsed and improved hydraulic fracturing, a drilling technology that has allowed producers to access new reserves in previously tough-to-reach shale formations. No shit, Sherlock. Okay, let's keep going along these same lines. From Foreign Policy magazine, how Trump learned to stop worrying and love the climate bomb. And there you go. Talking about, Trump eviscerating his predecessor's legacy on climate change. Yes, I've already gone over this, and I just went through this on my climate change meltdown roundup yesterday, eviscerating Obama's environmental legacy on climate change. Here's Foreign Policy magazine holding up Barack Obama as some kind of savior of the planet, even though the world is throwing up increasingly alarming signs of dangerous warming, and key parts of Trump's own administration keep flagging climate change as a key national security challenge. This is talking about that fucker Mattis, is that his name? Trump's own national security advisor waving climate change as one of the biggest national security threats to this country and to this planet, while Donald Trump completely eviscerates the tiny little baby steps that Barack Obama did about the climate. These orders would fulfill some of Trump's campaign promises. He has called climate change bullshit, but would also run smack into scientific, political, and policy reality, as the runaway warming is already making 2017 a doozy. There you go. Here we have Robert De Niro denouncing Trump on climate change. There you go. I mentioned this story in my Clueless Moron Roundup rant. What does Rex Tillerson have to say about his own job? Here is, quote, take it away, Rex Tillerson. I did not want this job. I did not seek this job. My wife told me I'm supposed to do this. I was supposed to retire in March. This month, I was going to go to my ranch to be with my grandkids. And as I said on Saturday, let's all wish him luck in realizing his dream. Okay, and again, I also mentioned this one on Saturday. More than 200 civilians killed in suspected U.S. airstrike in Iraq.